So one of the reasons I think it's so important to meditate, and meditation can be transcendental meditation, it can be a body awareness, it can be, breathing properly, is that one of the things that it does is, yes, it reduces stress, and yes, it reduces anxiety, but one of the most important things I think it does is it allows our mind to be clear so we can make proper decisions. And there's this wonderful story about a student goes to a meditation teacher, and the student says to the teacher, what's the single most important quality a person can have to live a healthy, happy, successful life? And the student is thinking he's going to say love or kindness or compassion. And the teacher said discernment, the ability to make the right choices. And when you think about that, it's the choices we make, right or wrong choices, that determine. It's the choices we make over the food we eat. It's the choices we make over what our profession is going to be. Choices we make over how we live our lives and who we live our lives with. So it's all about the choices and the correct choices. So discernment is being able to make the right choice, the correct choice. And sometimes we know what the right choice is, but we can't do it. Well, I shouldn't eat that third piece of chocolate cake, or I shouldn't do this, but we can't follow up on it. And again, meditation has a role in that, because it gives us the sort of the inner core of strength, so we know what the right thing is to do and we do it. And one thing that happens, to sort of segue, I just want to do a very simple breathing technique that anybody can do at any time. Now, I'm a teacher of transcendental meditation. I can't teach that here. That takes, an hour a day over 4 consecutive days. But this is a wonderful little glimpse. And I do this little breathing technique, and I have taught professional athletes to do this, and CEOs of companies, and exasperated moms and dads, and also kids who can't sleep at night. So one of the reasons why breathing techniques are so important is our brain is only about 2% of our overall body weight, but our brain uses up 20% of the oxygen that we take in. 20%. It's an oxygen, just consumer. And when we are anxious, we often breathe fast through our mouth. And when we breathe short like that, it just goes into our lungs and whatever. Now, when we breathe through our nose, one of the many benefits of breathing through our nose is we can bring it up as if into our brain. We can bring the oxygen to our brain. And there's a part of the brain called the amygdala. Maybe you've heard that term. The amygdala is the emotional center. It's at the base of the brain, right near your brainstem. And your amygdala, just the emotional center. It's also been called the fear center, the overreaction center. And when we are anxious, the amygdala hijacks the brain. We're overreacting to everything. And when we do this simple breathing tool, it does a number of things. It has a calming effect on what's called the vagus nerve. But for right now, it helps feed the amygdala, and it helps calm the brain so that we can do what? Make better choices, have more discernment, be able to just know what's right and wrong at that moment. It's not just the big choices that are important. It's millions of everyday choices. What time am I going to go to bed tonight? Again, am I going to have that third dessert? So here's the breathing technique. And the nice thing about this, it's not one of these meditation pranayams that, your nose and everybody's looking at you and all that. It's simply going to be this. Don't do it yet. I'll just explain it. You're going to breathe in through your nostrils, and you're going to start with your breath. You're going to fill up your belly, breathe from your belly. Breathe the air up through your nose, not through your mouth. And you're going to breathe the air up into your chest and up into your face and forehead. Then you're going to hold that for 2 seconds. And then you're going to breathe out through what they call pursed lips. And you're going to breathe out until your lungs, it's all out. It's almost like a soccer ball has been emptied, flat. And then you're going to hold that for about 2 seconds, just comfortable. And then you're going to do it again. In through your nostrils, begin by expanding your belly. Bring the air up into your chest and up into your face, just slowly, and hold it in your like forehead area, and then out through your lips. We're going to do that 5 times. Okay, you do it at your own pace, whatever is comfortable for you. And I will, it'll be about, we're going to do it for a couple of minutes. So we're just going to do that. Your eyes open, closed. You can think about whatever you want to think about, but just that breathing, we'll do it for the first time right now. Just, all right, in through your nostrils, expanding your belly, and up into your chest, up into your face. Hold it. And then just slowly out through your lips. And then hold it for 2 seconds. And then again, in through your nostrils. And we'll do one more. Okay. Kind of nice, don't you think, Steve? Very easy. No one has to know you're doing it. People do it around a, conference room table before you go to bed, anything, just 5 to 10. Now, I want to say this is fine. It's not the meditation, but it's a nice thing to do. It's not transcending, but it's a nice little skill set in the toolbox. Okay?
That's great. And what's a prompt for someone to think about discernment throughout the day to go along with this process?
Prompt is just being aware every day of how many decisions you make, large and small, just starting off with just that, I'm in New York, going into a bodega where you got all the food on the trays, or you're looking at a menu, or, you're dealing with an unruly kid, and you say, okay, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to handle this? What choices am I going to make here? How am I going to react? So I think just becoming aware, number one, of all the choices, the innumerable large and small choices we make every day. And then being aware of the importance of doing something so we make the right choices. And that something is specific. Just like if you want to be able to lift a 100-pound box, you better have worked out with your muscles, otherwise you won't be able to do it. If you want to do something with your mind, if you want to have better discernment, if you want to be more creative, it just doesn't happen by magic. We got to do something.
Be discerning. Be discerning.